Hey my fellow ink drinkers, welcome to Dark Violet Dreams, where I share my love of books, movies, and other deliciously dark delights. Today I'm doing a wrap-up of all the books and movies I got into in April, and I'm going to share my pile of possibilities for May. Let's start off with April. So April was old school April. This is where all of my energy lied. This is where I focused, and so a lot of these books, all but one, were part of the Old School April readathon. If you're not familiar with Old School April, I will link Kelsi's channel below and her video about what it's all about, so you can think over the next year about whether or not you'd like to join. It's so much fun. There's competition, but in a very healthy and fun way. It's not overly competitive and nasty. It's absolutely fun, and the kids and I enjoy participating every year. So the books that we read were Babysitter's Little Sister, #1, Karen's Witch. And then the second book that we finished, I did not count toward Old School April because we only read the last little bit of it, but we finished it in April. And this was part of our school curriculum, and that is Heidi. The third book that I finished myself in April was Horns by Joe Hill. I ended up giving this 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed this, more so than I expected, so I'm really glad that I dove into this. And I've got another Joe Hill book on my shelf that I am interested in checking out soon, but there are other books to read first. I also finished on my own White Fang by Jack London. I started reading this with my 10-year-old and he decided that he wasn't quite ready for it. I think some of the language was above his head. So we're going to try to dive back into this together someday in the future. Maybe he'll read it on his own. But I did have a good time with it, and I think I actually liked the movie more. There were some changes made in the movie, and I feel like I like the movie more, but it could also be because it was just a nostalgic thing for me, and the book wasn't so much, because I do not remember reading the book back in the day. I may have, but it doesn't have a special place in my heart like the movie did. The fifth book I finished was Creepover, Don't Drink the Punch. Now this was a lot of fun. This is a kind of a middle grade goosebumpsy kind of book. The Creepometer says it is number 4 out of 5. Sleep with the lights on. And this had kind of Mean Girls vibes with some witchy twists, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The sixth book that I finished with Shelby was Babysitter's Club, Little Sister, #8, Karen's Haircut. And we enjoyed this, but I do believe Shelby enjoyed the first one, Karen's Witch, more, and I think I'd have to agree. We are currently reading another one. It's actually behind me here. Karen's School Picture or Karen's School Photo, and I feel like we're kind of going a little bit further and further down as far as her interest goes, but we're still chugging along, so we'll see how that goes. I also finished Alice's Adventures in Wonderland with my 10-year-old. We decided to read that instead of White Fang, and we replaced our book that we were meant to read for our curriculum with this, just to give him something a little more interesting. I kind of read what the book we were supposed to read was about, and we swapped it, and that's part of the fun of homeschooling. We can swap one classic for another and kind of make things our own. So we had some good discussions over this, and we had a lot of fun reading it. The last book that I finished, book #8, was Sun in Gemini and Other Dark Summer Stories by Robert Weaver. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars, and I actually reviewed it this morning. I mean, if you can call it a review. I share my thoughts, but they're not in depth. So if you're interested in hearing more about this, I posted a review/recommendation over on Instagram and Goodreads, so definitely check it out. But this was beautiful. It was heartbreaking. It was heartwarming. It was nostalgic. There's so many things going for this book that I couldn't possibly discuss them in this video, but I really, really enjoyed this. I don't know, could this be my favorite Robert Weaver book? Everything I've read from him is amazing, so Highly recommend this and all of his other works. As far as my pile of possibilities for Old School April went, I read everything except the Cirque du Freak Vampire's Assistant book. I knew it was book 2 in a series, but I wasn't sure if it was something that I could read as a standalone, and I was informed that it's probably best to read the other book 1 first. So I set that aside, and if I come across book 1 when I'm thrifting or something like that, I'll grab it. Otherwise, I might stick it in one of the neighborhood little free library boxes. All right, I ended up watching 20 movies over the month of April, which is a lot for me. We'll see if we match that this month. I don't think we will, but we'll see. We shall see. So here's the list of movies that I watched either alone or with my family or with an adult kid or with younger kids. I mean, there's a whole combination of things that could have been going here, but these are the movies we watched. Bruce Almighty, Top Gun, Tombstone, A League of Their Own, Tommy Boy, Liar Liar, The Thing, It Takes Two, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Stir of Echoes, Jeepers Creepers, Willow, White Fang, Happy Gilmore, Labyrinth, The Cell, Hop, Crybaby, Hellboy, and Sister Act. So it was a fun month full of movies and good reads, and we did a lot of fun activities as well. We didn't watch as many shows pertaining to Old School April, but I had a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that we were able to participate again. It always brings me so much joy to connect with other people that are full of nostalgia and appreciate the 80s, the 90s, even before that, and early 2000s. It's just so much fun. So thank you again, Kelsi, for creating this event. Thank you to all the hosts for putting on such an amazing event, such an amazing readathon, watchathon, activityathon. I look forward to next year. Now on to the May possibilities. This month I am participating in Zombiethon, hosted by Cat's Novel Adventures and a bunch of other great hosts that are all associated with Old School April in some shape or form. And Horror Mayhem. I think this is my first year participating in this. There are a whole bunch of hosts. I've got 10 books that I'd like to read this month. Obviously, I'm not typically fast enough to read 10 books in a month. I've got other things going. I've got lots of distractions, but we'll see what I can get to. 2 of those books are zombie related. The rest are more horror. And 1 is a read aloud I'd like to read with my kids that was sent to us by a friend. So let's dive in. The first book that I actually started reading late last night is Green Unpleasant Land by Matt Thomas. Now this, I guess, technically wouldn't fall under Horror Mayhem because it is longer than the 250-page limit, but this is an arc, so I'm forgiving myself for that. It's 316 pages. I have it on my Kindle. It was sent to me by the author, so thank you so much, Matt. And it is a gothic cosmic horror with an alternate history. So far, it's pretty interesting. A zombie book I'd like to read is London, Surviving the Evacuation. This is book 1 in a series. We shall see what I think of it and if I want to get more. This is by Frank Tayel. I'm not sure how to say his last name. And it is 196 pages. So I guess this could fall under Zombiethon and Horror Mayhem. The third book I'd like to read this month was actually sent to me by the author. He is one of my favorites, Calvin Ellis, and it is a new release by him. It is a collection of dark stories called Bury My Body Somewhere Nice. So thank you so much, Calvin Ellis, for this book. I am excited to dive into it. So this definitely qualifies for Horror Mayhem because it's a collection of short stories. And I will talk more about this once I start reading it, maybe after I've read it. We'll see. The next 3 books I'm going to share with you, I actually won in a giveaway over on Instagram. The author was hosting a giveaway and I was the lucky winner, and I'm so excited because I've been wanting to read his work and I get to read 3 of his books. So all 3 of these are under 200 pages, so they could qualify for Horror Mayhem. I'm not sure how horrific each of these are, but we'll see. I mean, I'm going to read them anyway. May is my birthday month, so I'm doing what I want, even if it doesn't really fall into what I should be doing. But I should think that way anyway, right? I should do what I want, whether it's my birthday month or not. Anyway, the first book is Eyes on the Island. The second is Imminent Domain. And the last is Coffer Woods. It says Radioactivity, Folklore, and Fear. Ooh, I cannot wait. But I'm reading them in publication order and super excited. I love all of these covers. I love the feel of each of these books. Super excited to dive into these. The next book I added sort of last minute to my Kindle for Horror Mayhem because I saw a post over on Keelan Patrick Burke's Facebook page, I believe, and he is part of this anthology. So I wanted to give it a try. We shall see what I think. Of course, I have enjoyed everything I've read from Keelan Patrick Burke, but since this is an anthology, this is several different authors, but I do love dipping my toes into anthologies, and I think that's a perfect thing to do for Horror Mayhem. So it is called Lullabies for Suffering, Tales of Addiction Horror. It's 253 pages, so it's 3 pages over the 250 page limit, but it's short stories, so that counts. I don't think there's this like strict rule about the 250 pages. I'm just being silly about it because I like to think I'm a rebel, even though I'm not. I just like to think I am. The next book is another zombie book. So I only have 2 zombie books on my list, which is fine because I do plan on watching a lot of zombie movies. So we'll get to that in a minute. The next book is Everything Dies, Season 1 by T.W. I want to say Malpars. And it's 306 pages. So we'll see if I can finish that this month. It looked interesting. It was free on Kindle. So here we go. The next book I'd like to read is a read aloud, hopefully. Hopefully. Sometimes we try and fail at read alouds. Sometimes mommy finishes them on her own because there's not enough interest or whatever. But I feel like there would be enough interest in this one. It is a longer book for us for a read aloud, but it could work. If not, I can save this for when they're older. But I am so grateful. Our friend Heidi sent this to us. It is called The Wolf and the Favor. It says 10-year-old Hannah has Down syndrome and oodles of courage, but should she trust the beautiful tree creature who smells of mama's perfume, or the blue-eyed wolf who warns her not to enter the wood under any circumstance? So I am interested in checking this out. And the back is really cool too. So here's the front, and here's the back. Really cool. The last book I would like to start, at least, does not have its official cover yet. It is a really early released ARC by one of my favorite authors, C.F. Page. It is called The Swallowed Town. So I'm really interested in checking this out. I've talked about this in past videos, I believe, when I received it, actually. Super, super excited for this. I want to get to it right now, but also there's so much going on that I'm like, well, what do I read first? But I'm trying to go in the order that I shared these with you. We'll see how it works out. But right now I am reading Green on Pleasant Land, and it's interesting, and I can't wait to see what else happens. And I will definitely talk to you about that in a future video. All right, so the movies I want to watch are mostly zombie type movies, zombie adjacent. There's some sort of zombie in there. 2 of them are not, though. 2 of them are more for my Horror Mayhem, and 1 is actually a movie I want to watch a different version of than I have seen before, in time for a discussion that will be happening soon. The first one I'd like to watch is a director's cut of Donnie Darko, and I want to watch this because I haven't seen this version, and Kelsi from Nightmares and Nostalgia and Slime and Slashers is having a discussion about this on, I think she said May 13th. So I'm super excited to kind of follow along this discussion and pipe in whenever I can in the comments. But I really love this movie, and I've never seen the director's cut. So I'm excited to see it and kind of enjoy the scenes that were not included in the theatrical cut. I also want to watch Frailty from 2001. I just really want some Southern horror in my life. And I think May and summertime is the perfect time to start incorporating more Southern horror. So if you have any suggestions for movies and or books that are of the Southern horror persuasion, please let me know. I'd love to check them out. Okay, so I'm going to just list off the rest of the movies. You let me know your thoughts. Should I skip any of these? Should I prioritize any of them? Which are your favorites? Which do you dislike and think I should toss out? I'd love to know, because I don't think I've seen any of these. Possibly one, but I don't remember anything about it. So we're going to pretend I've never seen it. So here they are. Night of the Living Dead from 1968, Day of the Dead from 1985, Dawn of the Dead from 2004, Wreck, is it called Wreck or Record, from 2007, Planet Terror from 2007, Evil Dead from 2013, Train to Busan from 2016, Super 8 from 2011, The Night Eats the World from 2018, Overlord from 2018, Die Alone from 2024, and The Cabin in the Woods from 2011. These are all the movies I have access to with the subscription services I currently have. So as much as I'd like to watch the cooler or older versions of some of these, I don't have access to them at the moment. And I am very budget minded, so I'm not going to rent anything. I'm just going to go with what I can access for free or on my currently active subscription services. So as much as I'd love to get requests from you, I can't do that at this time. So let me know, of the movies on this list, which ones are your favorite and which ones do you think I should throw out? And I'll just kind of wing it with the rest. Now, obviously, I might not get to all these movies and books this month, but I'm really looking forward to checking out what I can and just making it fun and laid back as humanly possible. All right, that is it. Thank you so much for checking in with me, hanging out. I hope you guys are having an amazing spring so far. Let me know what you're getting into this month. Are you participating in Zombiethon or Horror Mayhem? Do you have another event that you're participating in, or are you just kind of winging it? What's going on in your world? What was your favorite book and movie from April? I'd love to hear. Thank you so much again for hanging out. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Until next time, cheers. My foot is asleep.